So this is some unprecedented heat that we are dealing with. But in just a week's time, our high is going to drop to the upper 60s. Yes, this is a snap your head back kind of cold front. And although it's going to feel considerably colder to us, because it is from what we have been in the 90s, it's still 2 degrees above average. And some Mercury milestones for you. Yes, if you're thinking we've been getting hotter earlier in the year, boy, you would be right. Our first 80-degree day, our first 85, our first 90, all much earlier than normal. But this pattern is going to stay in place. We have something called a Rex block pattern, just a fancy way of saying a really high amplitude ridge of high pressure, very strong, kind of blocking an otherwise fairly weak area of low pressure. Those Santa Ana winds are going to continue. We've got this really strong ridge of high pressure across the west. And essentially what happens is with the clockwise flow around that high, you get the wind kind of pushing off of the higher elevations here across the west and through California. As those winds that are close to 20 to 30 miles per hour push down and sort of descend the higher elevations here along the eastern portion of the state, it's forced to warm. As you take a parcel of air from the upper levels and you push it down to the surface, automatically the temperature goes up. But it's also like riding your bike off of a steep hill. You pick up speed as you're getting closer to the ground. So in the valleys, they're experiencing these really strong wind gusts, very hot air, and air with very little moisture. That's not really the storm system that's going to be the game changer. This one is. It is sitting and spinning in the Gulf of Alaska right now. We can tell by the speckled nature of the clouds that this is going to pack a cold punch as it moves in. But it's that very heavy rain that is going to be the biggest threat to Texas over the next couple of days. This storm system has almost stalled out. So because it is moving so slowly, it's dumping a lot of water all in one place.
Chief Meteorologist Erin Christiansen joins us now. And Erin, this storm is again a Category 5.
What happened?
Yeah, well, you know, there are a lot of different things that come into play. It encountered Cuba. That probably slowed it down, pulled a little bit of steam from it for a little while. Now it's moving back over the open ocean water, which is warm. So that's fueling it to strengthen. And, you know, you got to keep in mind, too, this was earlier today Category 4, but a very strong Category 4 with winds at 155 miles per hour. And then it just bumped, it strengthened to 160 miles per hour, and that pushed it to a Category 5. So really just that difference of 5 miles per hour has made it a Category 5 once again. And now there's talk of it dropping back to a Cat 4 before it does make landfall. So a lot of folks kind of getting hung up on the herky-jerkiness of this hurricane, what category it is. I'm not as concerned about that as much as the size. This thing is growing, and now it is 600 miles across. You guys, that is the size of the Gulf of Mexico. So whether it's a Cat 4 or a Cat 5, that means a lot more people are going to be impacted by this monster storm from what we were originally expecting. And I have to admit, I made up this superhero, Weather Woman. I really think Weather Woman should exist, though, in comics, don't you? If you take a stroll through the this weekend when you come down to the festival, just take a look down, because it's really the soil as to why all of these pecan trees are here and why they do so well. This is one of the dogs that is available for adoption for free this weekend. This is Bella, and I've been calling her a beautiful brindle. When I told Bella that she was going to be on TV, she immediately sat down and she just looks so stoic. This dog commands attention and beautiful coloring. And I don't know if you can see her face, but boy, I love the way this ear flops back and this ear flops forward. Oh, what a cute little characteristic.